I just want to do a quick little video today talking about flexible dieting and how to stay on track during the holidays. In Canada here, we have our Thanksgiving coming up this weekend. After that, obviously, there's American Thanksgiving, and then in a couple short months, it's going to be cold and we have Christmas. So I just want to talk about how to stay on track during the holidays, dealing with family members who may not understand or necessarily support your style of eating. So I just want to tell you my experiences and basically how I go about doing what I do, just to make sure I stay on track and everything. So as you know, I follow flexible dieting. My boyfriend Nathan does the same thing as well. This weekend we have 3 family dinners that we're going to. Obviously we're going to be very busy, and because we have huge fitness and nutrition goals, we obviously keep our flexible dieting. We don't necessarily do cheat meals. Nathan will sometimes do a refeed day, which is, it's still completely tracked. I don't do any right now. I don't really care for them. It's not in my plan. But yeah, we definitely still stay on track, no matter what the occasion is, whether we go to weddings or we have family events or whatever it is, we always stay on track. So basically what I do is, first and foremost, I ask whoever is the cook what we're having for dinner. There's nothing wrong with asking, whether it's your parents or your siblings or whoever's cooking the meal. Just ask them what's going to be there. What are your options? From there, I usually just hit up MyFitnessPal on my phone and I'll input, for the most part, what I think I'm going to be having. So we have, obviously, this weekend we'll have turkey. Dark meat turkey is going to be a lot fattier than the white meat. So if you want to make the most of it, then I would say just have more turkey breast rather than turkey leg or thigh. Yeah, and go for the white meat. Stuffing is going to be carbs and fats for the most part, depending on what's in it. There might be a tiny bit of protein depending on what kind of bread people use. That's mostly carbs. Fill up on vegetables. That's usually the easiest thing. If you like vegetables, go crazy on them. They don't count for a lot of carbs, and they're more like a volume food. So you can eat a lot of it and fill you up, and it's not really wasting your carbs. There's going to be potatoes there, whether they're sweet potatoes or white potatoes. Those are going to be carby, starchy, nothing wrong with it, but, excuse me, you just want to be aware of what you're consuming. Cranberries, super high in sugar, so those will boost your carbs extremely high. I don't know what's in gravy. I don't eat it. So if you are having gravy, just be mindful of that. So yeah, the biggest thing is I always just, I plan ahead, whether it's the day of, the day before. I'll put it into MyFitnessPal for the most part to approximate on what I think I'm going to be eating, and then I can base the rest of my day around that meal. If you want to have dessert, if you want to have the pumpkin pie or the apple pie or whatever it is that you guys are going to be having for dessert, then input that too. Obviously, you don't have to bring a scale. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, depending on where we're going and what we're having. I usually just keep one in my bag just in case. Some things are a lot easier to measure than others. Yeah, so basically it just comes down to planning ahead, and then eyeballing portion sizes. If you really want to, you can bring a scale. I have been tracking my macros, not necessarily flexible dieting, but I have been tracking my macros for about, I don't know, 2.5, 3 years now. And in that time, the amount of criticism and judgment and just questioning from family members, why are you doing this? Why is that important? Why does it matter? Can't you take a day off? Why do you have to be so strict? This doesn't make sense, blah, blah, blah. I have family members that judge me, that critique me, that question why I do what I do. A lot of people don't understand it, and at the end of the day, it's not them, right? It's you, and you do what you want to do, and if that makes you happy, then go ahead and do it. Don't let anyone's narrow-mindedness, is that too harsh of a word? Don't let their narrow-mindedness stop you from doing what you want to do. I find the hardest people to comprehend are grandparents. They come from a completely different generation where food is food and you enjoy it because they spend hours cooking it, and you don't say no if someone offers you pie or dessert or something that you don't feel like having. I've had arguments with people before in my family. I find the easiest thing is just say, you know what, this is what I want to do, please respect my decisions. I've told people before that I have allergies to food, so then they don't question why I'm not eating something. I remember one of my grandparents basically like freaked out because I didn't have dessert. She's like, what's wrong with you? And you know what, at the end of the day, like, do what you want to do. Don't worry about people who don't understand you. This isn't just talking about meals with family and stuff. This goes with any social media. You do something, people may not understand it. At the end of the day, your journey and your process isn't for people to understand. It's you doing what you want to do. And if people don't understand that, then that's their problem and not yours. Always stay focused. And speaking of staying focused, I need to stay on track with this conversation. So yeah, flexible dieting obviously doesn't have to be restrictive. When you do go out to things like weddings or holiday events or even social gatherings, you can still stay on track. There's no reason why you have to binge or completely like fall off the wagon. That's why we practice flexible dieting, because it is flexible. It's not saying like you have to do one of those like clean bro diets where you can't eat like any bad food. Like if I want to go out and I want to have a burger, yeah, I'm going to have a burger. I'm going to make it fit my macros, and at the end of the day, I'm not going to go over because I have certain goals that I want to reach, right? It just comes down to how committed you are, and if you don't care about having a day where you don't track it, then it's not going to ruin your process. It's obviously not going to get you closer to where you want to be, but it's not going to ruin your process. Like, one meal won't kill you, so try and relax about it. I do have 3 meals that I'm going to. I will probably bring my scale. I may not use it, but I'm going to stay on track. I don't care for dessert, so I'm going to fill up on other foods. And just enjoy myself. Don't let it stress you out. That's why we practice following flexible dieting, because it's not supposed to stress you out. And if it is stressing you out, then maybe it's not working for you, or maybe you just need help. Maybe you need a coach, or you just need another way to get after it, basically. So that's all I'm gonna say. Just wrap this up. Kind of keep it quick. In summary, plan ahead. That's like the easiest thing that you can do. Ask if you can, ask someone what is going to be on the menu, what can you expect. You can always ask them if you can bring anything, whether it's a salad or vegetables or potatoes or something. If they do say, yeah, you can bring this, then there's one thing you know you're going to have. And if it's vegetables or something, put those in, fill up on those, because you're making them, so you're probably going to like them, and you can just eat more of that. So it's always just planning ahead, being smart about your food choices, knowing what works for your body and what doesn't. My body doesn't react well to extreme high sodium levels, which I've learned the hard way. So I don't eat things that have extremely high levels of sodium in it. At the end of the day, if we're going out, I can't control what foods have sodium in them, or high levels of sodium in them, but you know what, like I said before, one meal isn't going to kill you. You may feel a little backed up the next morning, you may be holding on to some water retention, whatever. Process isn't linear, like weight loss isn't linear, like you're going to go up and down on the scale. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up. That's everything, guys. I hope everyone has a nice Thanksgiving this weekend for everyone in Canada. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good one. See ya.